Welcome to the Epic Flight Academy Commercial Pilot course. Remember our 3 keys to success and please hit that subscribe button. Our topic today is autopilot procedures and limitations. Now, to help us understand and make sense of this topic, we're going to reference 3 sources. Number 1, the Epic Standardization Manual for the instrument rating. Number 2, the 172S POH. Now, we'll actually use a PIM. The one with the NAV3 avionics option, the GF700. And number 3, the Garmin Integrated Flight Deck CRG, or Cockpit Reference Guide. Now, starting with our first reference, the Epic Instrument Rating Standardization Guide, let's go to section 7 and find automation management. What does it mean? Automation management means the pilot's ability to control and navigate the aircraft by means of automated systems. Now, to do this effectively, the pilot must be proficient using the advanced avionics, which means knowing the various modes, how to monitor the system for proper operation, and most importantly, know the appropriate action to take if the system is not performing as expected. The most important aspect of managing advanced automation, such as an autopilot or an FMS system, is knowing at all times what mode is engaged and what mode is armed to engage, and then the ability to verify proper operation of each mode. To aid us in system operation, it is helpful for us to know some critical errors involved in the use of automation. Here are 5 common errors. Number 1, failure to verify that the correct mode is engaged or active. Number 2, failure to verify that a descent mode is armed. Number 3, failure to adjust power after leveling off in a climb or a descent. Number 4, programming an excessive rate of climb in the vertical speed mode, resulting in a loss of airspeed. And number 5, changing the CDI navigation source while in navigation or approach mode, resulting in wings level only flight in the roll mode. Now, with these important points in mind, let's turn to our second reference, and that's the POH, or PIM in this case, and we'll find automation management information in sections 2, 3, and 7. So let's take a look at them in order. In section 2, we will see some of the system's limitations starting on page 20. Notice that it tells us that the G1000 CRG Cockpit Reference Guide must be available during flight. Shown there are limitations of the traffic map, terrain proximity, and the navigation map. Notice that beyond certain latitudes, both north and south, between defined longitudes, use of the G1000 is not authorized. Also notice that on page 21, limitations on the split COM or split communications function. Finally, notice that fuel quantity, fuel use, and fuel remaining are considered supplemental information only and must be verified by the pilot. Also listed here are 9 limitations. Number 1, a full GFC pre-flight must be successfully completed prior to the use of the autopilot in flight. Number 2, the pilot must be in the left seat and properly belted in. Number 3, the autopilot must be off during takeoff and landing. Number 4, autopilot maximum engagement speed is 150 knots indicated airspeed, and its minimum engagement speed is 70 knots indicated airspeed. The electric trim's maximum speed is VNE or 163. Limitation number 5, maximum fuel imbalance between wings is 90 pounds. Number 6, the autopilot must be disengaged below 200 feet AGL on approach and below 800 feet AGL for all other operations. Number 7, on an ILS, the autopilot is limited to Category 1 approaches only. Number 8, use of the autopilot is prohibited if the audio panel is inoperative. And number 9, use of the autopilot is prohibited during a missed approach until an established climb rate meeting all altitude requirements has been met. Now, page 22 calls out some of the terrain awareness limitations. Be sure to review all of these limitations with your instructor. Well, I wonder, what if there is an autopilot or electric trim failure? Well, folks, in that case, we're going to turn to section 3, and on page 22, we see this procedure. Number 1, grasp the control wheel firmly. Number 2, press and hold the autopilot trim disconnect button. Number 3, adjust the elevator trim manually. Number 4, open the autopilot circuit breaker. That means pull it out. And number 5, then release the autopilot trim disconnect button. Of course, it is important to get to know the automation system in your 172S in more detail. So while we are here in the PIM, let's turn to section 7. And here is what we find. Notice it tells us GF700 automatic flight control system. Refer to the Garmin G1000 CRG for more information on system operation. Okay, let's go to that CRG. It turns out that document that we really need is our third reference. The G1000 Integrated Flight Deck, or CRG, or the Cockpit Reference Guide, shown here. Now, when we use the guide, we turn to the table of contents, and we find that what we need is Chapter 6. This is the cover page of Chapter 6. Now, this is detailed content, and it would take far too long to review it all in this video. So, please study this guide first, and then review it with your CFII, your instrument flight instructor. Well, folks, today we have reviewed the C-172S autopilot procedures and limitations by referencing the Epic Standardization Manual, the POH, or PIM in our case, and the G1000 Cockpit Reference Guide. Join us next time.